Well, we're back to work on the EVO again. Updates, upgrades.
Nice.
Today we're going to be talking a little bit about the dry sump system that we put in this car.
Ooh.
We went all in and got a beautiful daily engineering, I believe.
Nice. Dry sump
Really
kit.
nice billet dry sump setup for this car. Well, it's a 6.6 liter LS with twin turbocharger, and it is built to be right around 1600 horsepower. An engine like this is a pretty serious piece of equipment, and with that being said, the dry sump is kind of it is basically the pinnacle of oiling systems.
So why
and
do you
it'll
run a
keep it
dry
safe.
sump as opposed to a regular wet sump?
Two reasons. The dry sump works better.
Okay.
You'll never have an oil starvation
starvation,
issue. But the second reason, and kind of a significant one for the 190E engine swap situation that we got here, is the wet sump itself on an LS is pretty deep, and the dry sump is quite shallow.
Oh,
so that
okay.
allowed us to put the engine as low as possible for the rack and pinion setup that we're working on as well. If you haven't seen us, we're working on that, and there's another video for that. But we got Alex in here today,
Yes.
and he's one of the new additions to the shop. So
Yeah. What are we doing right now?
Rob gave me the sketch
Okay.
for the dry sump bracket. So the actual dry sump system's down there, if you can see.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's
the red
like you
caps.
can see red caps over there.
And then
Yeah.
the tank's in the trunk.
Okay.
So we need a bracket made to hold the tank inside the trunk.
So take us to where the tank is. Let's go check it out.
So
That's interesting. You're putting it in the trunk
we did
there.
a rear mount radiator system on this.
Okay.
And the oil tank for the dry sump is going to be back here as well. So the oil tank is going to go here in the side cavity. Yeah. So this is the tank. This is for the heater. Like it actually has a little
it
internal
heats it.
coil heater to heat your oil.
Interesting.
And you got your breather and dash 16 line from the back to the front of the car. I'm sure that'll hold
That's
a couple more
big
liters
boy.
too.
Oh my gosh.
This guy
Yep.
is going to sit
Nice.
right down in here.
Okay.
So it needs something to hold it up in there.
Yep.
So we came up with a quick and easy solution. We're gonna make two brackets that we're gonna weld onto the bottom of this tank. And Alex is going to, he's gonna model them up in SolidWorks. We're gonna send it over to the CNC router. We're gonna cut them out of aluminum, weld them together. These will get welded to the tank, and we'll have rubber isolators underneath it to support the weight and allow for a little bit of flexibility, a little bit of thermal expansion as well.
Nice. So show us what you have so far, Alex.
I just, made an extrusion of it, and then we have this profile that we're gonna have like a little step down. And yeah, we're ready to actually start coming up with the CNC code,
Okay.
and then should be good to go.
And it's gonna be cut in aluminum, you said?
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're starting with 1/4 inch 6061, 1/4 inch end mill, no tool changes on it. Just gonna run it, send it. Just finished pulling these things off the CNC router table, welded them up.
Nice.
Those will get welded onto here like so. And they'll put some nice rubber isolators underneath this to support the weight and give this thing the flexibility it needs. And now I need to locate where on the tank they need to mount. So I'm just going to place the tank in there, make a couple orientation marks. I'm going to go and weld those on, and we'll be another step closer to getting the EVO ready for the streets.
Nice. Very nice.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do it. I like it.
Looks good.
Let's do it. Let's go see if it fits. Should. A bit of a tight fit. I think we got it, Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fits perfectly.
That looks good to me. You guys like that?
It's good for my house.
All right. Okay, we'll go weld it up. So fortunately, we only got 2 small holes to drill in here.
And where are we drilling the holes?
I'm gonna put threaded inserts into the sheet metal of that because I can't access the back of it, but then these are the rubber isolators that I'm gonna be using for the dry sump tank.
Okay.
So I'm gonna thread that stud into the threaded inserts. And yeah, then we'll be able to put the tank on. So we got those 2 in place. Now these things can just thread.
Nice. Into the bottom of that.
We can take our tank with our freshly welded on mounts and our holes there for our M8 hardware that we're using. Feed that in. So that's 2 of the 3 mounts that we need to have on this. I have yet to do the 3rd upper mount. So far, this is what I've come up with for the upper mount. And yeah, that'll just get welded on there. And we have access to all of our bolts for the 2 halves of the tank, so that should work good.
Awesome.
I just so happened to have that clamp in existence, so it kind of just
Works perfectly.
made a perfect sort of thing, and it's rubber isolated as well, so we're almost done with this part of it.
After the dry sump tank was installed in the trunk of the EVO, the guys then made some custom AN16 lines to go from the dry sump tank to the motor. On the next episode, we are going to be starting up the EVO version 2 for the first time. And so if you want to see that, make sure you like this video if you liked it, subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.